Here are the biggest changes and shifts since the iOS 14 update and the things that are working right now. All right, so before we jump into the iOS 14.5, what is working, I want to talk about what it is. So real quickly, in 10 seconds, the iOS 14.5 is an update from Apple. They announced way back in 2019, 2020, and said that they were going to give more privacy over to the user. So what happens is we all got a notification on our phone, if you've updated yet, that said, I will allow tracking or will not allow tracking on your iOS device. So that's your iPhone, your iPad, anything Apple related. And what it does is it says, hey, I want Facebook to track what I'm doing off of Facebook. And what this is ultimately gonna do is allow you to have personalized ads or not have personalized ads. So go check that out. What it means is that there's less data for Facebook to make actionable decisions for you online. So you may get random ads from people trying to sell you snake boots all the way to trying to sell you a treadmill. It does not matter what it is. They don't have enough data yet, so you may have some funky ads going on if you don't opt in. All right, so number one is something that we've been a proponent of since the very, very beginning of our company that still works today and is still a very actionable way for you to continue to grow your business, no matter if it's a product-based or service-based. It still works, and that is video ads. The reason that video ads still work is because it's videos that are on Facebook. Facebook still has that data, and you've never had to wonder whether or not somebody actually watched your video, because Facebook has always had the ability for you to retarget people based off percentage. For those of you who have those higher ticket items or you have videos, you can actually run video ads, test those to new people, and then people can watch the video and you can retarget them that way. Super easy to implement, and it gives you a better advantage. Facebook's always wanted more video anyway, and now that you can create more video and actually target people, if you haven't been doing it as a product-based business, it's going to set you up for success because you get more data. It's actually the way that we've continued to create audiences for ourselves and our company, is by creating more content and doing video views campaigns to get more people to watch them and then remarket back to those people so you can use them for your product-based businesses as well.
Oh yeah, before I forget, man.
Welcome to everybody new. My name is Aaron Pearson. I'm one of the co-founders here at BitBranding, and we've been helping frustrated store owners just like you since 2015 become impactful store owners through tutorials, tactics, and strategies. And we would truly appreciate it if you would continue to support this channel by hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our content that we put out every single week.
Push the button.
All right, so number two is opening up your targeting. So the more that you constrain your targeting, which we talked about in another video, the less data that Facebook has. And even more so now, think of it as like a filter that continues to get clogged up. If you continue to constrain or squeeze out the least amount of data as possible, Facebook's not gonna have the confidence to learn, which means that you are ultimately gonna pay more per ad, or it just won't spend your money because the confidence is too low. So let's jump over to Facebook real quick. Let me show you what I mean. When I'm talking about broad retargeting or broad marketing in general, what I mean by opening this up is you need to set up a campaign based off of age, gender, and location, and then let your creative do the work. It could be a video ad, could be something else, but let me show you what I mean here. So your campaign, set it up just as you would before, but the ad set level, open it up to your audience. If you know your audience's age range, put that in there. If you don't, do 18 plus. Just give Facebook as much data as possible because it needs that data right now. It's eventually gonna learn and it will eventually get smart again, but right now, let's just give it as much as information as possible, right? This is literally somebody who got knocked down. We're just trying to help them get back up and get back on their feet. So give more data to Facebook and it's gonna get up on its feet faster, which means you're gonna have better ad results. And depending on when you're watching this video, most people haven't even opted into the iOS update and they haven't opted out of tracking yet. So you may not see a ton of results or a ton of changes yet, but more than likely you are, especially if you continue to constrain your targeting. So go in here to your ad set level, open it up. You can see here we have one campaign, one ad set, one ad. That's very, very purposeful because it gives more Facebook data to make decisions. Again, as you can see here, we have 18 plus. We are focused on, for this target audience, is women, and that's pretty much it. We have manual placements, but honestly, we could even do all placements. Doesn't matter. I want to give Facebook as much data as possible. The only other thing that I would tell you is just like as a side note or a side tip, make sure that one day click is on, because most purchases are going to happen within a 1 day window, and you need to know how much you spend one day and make the same day as well. Don't overcomplicate it. I know there was a really quick overview of what's going on for the targeting, but just leave it open and you're just gonna have to trust it. And if you don't trust it yet, eventually whenever those iOS updates do go through and people opt out, you're gonna have to force yourself to something like that or move somewhere else. So what I would tell you is open up your targeting. All right, so stick around to the end of this video and I'm gonna be sharing with you the #1 reason you should not be freaking out about this update. It's not all doom and gloom, it's not all bad. Actually, all it is a shift, and it's a shift that's already been happening. So stick around to the end of this video. I'm gonna share with you why you don't need to be freaking out. You can take a breath of relief.
Take a deep breath. You feel okay? Really?
All right, so #3 is creative, and if you've watched any of our videos, you know that it is extremely important. The best way for you to continue to win on Facebook is through great creative. Facebook and Instagram has always and will always prioritize great creative over not so good creative. When you are thinking about creating content, think about your audience and your user on the other end of the screen first. If you do that, you're gonna be a lot more successful. So one way to test creative, and one way to look at this, is to jump into Ads Manager, and you can see here, set up dynamic creative ads. And we did create a video on dynamic creative ads that you should go and check out as well. This is how to set up those campaigns. We're not gonna do that in this video, so make sure to watch that video. It's super simple. Dynamic creative allows you to put in 10 different images or videos, 5 different headlines, and 5 different descriptions. And what that allows you to do is Facebook gets more data, right? So I think the theme of this video is give Facebook more data, create great content, be successful at Facebook. That's really all it is. So if you scroll through here, you can see we have multiple images, multiple videos, multiple headlines. That's because we want to give Facebook as much data as possible. And when you do that, you have a higher chance of winning. That's all it comes down to is, hey, can I put more favoritism towards my campaign and my ads and give Facebook the data over somebody else? That's it. You're just competing. It's an auction. How can I win the auction over somebody else? All right, so this is the information that you really wanted to know about. It actually has nothing to do with Facebook, but has everything to do with growing your business. You need to focus on 2 numbers and 2 numbers only when you jump into Facebook. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. When you go to Facebook, you can scroll over here, and in the last 7 days for this particular campaign, they spent $1,600, almost $1,700. That doesn't matter. Even this website conversion number where it says they made 2 times their money does not matter. You need to know how much you spent on Facebook and how much you made on your Shopify store, your CommentSold store, your WordPress, whatever it is. You need to know how much you spent and how much you made. Facebook's effectiveness has not dropped. What has dropped is the data inside of it. And in previous videos, we've talked about this in more depth, but I want to explain to you really quickly. Facebook is still reaching the same amount of people. It wasn't the iOS update that just said, oh, stop showing ads to people. You're still going to get ads shown to people. But what isn't as effective is the data inside of here. You can see here when I hover over this too, it says, these results may not include conversions from people who've opted out of iOS 14. So she had 47 purchases here. She probably had more than that. But we don't care. We just want Facebook to show it to the same people we've always been showing it to, and look and check the one number that matters the most. How much have you actually made? And if you have an ads team or if you have a marketing team or whatever else, and they're still showing you data inside of Facebook instead of how much money you made on your store, you should probably look at checking out somebody else, because these numbers are not going to be accurate. The numbers inside of Shopify or CommentSold or whatever you use are going to be accurate. So just take a breath. Just think about that for a second. It does not matter what's inside of Facebook. Facebook is only a tool to drive traffic. If you spend the same amount of money and you make the same amount of sales, which is likely to happen, then you don't need to worry so much about the data in Facebook. There are certain numbers and metrics to look at. We'll talk about those in another video, but it doesn't matter, because all you're looking at is how much you spent and how much you made. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. What is your biggest aha moment about the iOS 14 update? And if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button below because it will tell YouTube we are pretty cool, which we believe that we are, and hopefully you think so too. And this will help you see our videos more and also share this video to more people, which helps our channel grow and helps us create better content for you guys. All right, so that's all we have for this video. We'll see you guys next time.